Okay, we are live. So welcome everyone. My name is Mackenzie. I'm the founder of Grad Jobs. Today I'm interviewing the amazing Vikas. Vikas came to Australia to pursue a career in business analysis, IT analysis. We'll dig into that. And a couple of months ago, he secured a IT/BA role with GB Auto Group. And in this podcast, we're going to learn a bit more about Vikas's story, how he landed the job, etc. If you want to contact Vikas, he is happy for you to reach out on LinkedIn, and also feel free to reach out to me or the team at Grad Jobs. So welcome. Thanks for coming.
Thank you. Thank you for having me.
Awesome. Let's get into it. So what's the biggest thing that motivated you to move to Australia?
Well, I moved here with my partner. So my partner got a job offer in Australia. We initially intended to move over in 2019, but then due to COVID, we could only secure a job offer in 2020. So we came to Australia in December last 2022. Yeah.
Awesome. And what made you, what's your background before coming to Australia?
So I've stayed in Pretoria, South Africa most of my life. And I've worked in quite a few different roles, also studying part-time. So I worked in mostly finance and health. And during those roles, I had some experience with business analysts and analysis and IT, and I sort of developed an interest. And then I pursued my bachelor's degree in business management and information systems, or business information systems, as some of the degrees are structured. And I really enjoyed it, so I decided to pursue a career in business analysis and IT.
Awesome. And you're in a little bit of a different situation to a lot of the people that we usually talk with, because you haven't completed a degree in Australia, right?
Yeah, so that makes it, I think, a little bit harder.
I think so.
Yeah.
What do you feel was harder about that?
I just feel like not only the degree, but the fact that I'm on a temporary visa as well, with like it's a spouse visa, but it's a temporary visa, which makes employers more reluctant to choose me as a candidate or consider me as a candidate. So yeah, I just feel like especially having Australian experience as well, that's also something that comes into play. So I think it's threefold. It's the Australian experience, the non-Australian degree. Well, yeah, I don't have Australian experience. I don't have an Australian degree, and the temporary visa. Those three things together make it a bit harder.
Definitely.
Yeah.
A lot of people would find a situation like that particularly challenging, but you managed to do very, very well. So I think this will be valuable for people watching to learn more about it. So when did you start job searching?
I started job searching the day after I landed in Australia. So we landed on the 22nd of December 2022, and I started the very next day. I submitted about 250 job applications before deciding to look for some sort of help. Yeah, because I just felt like I wouldn't be able to do it on my own. Yeah, so then I found Grad Jobs, and I read the reviews, and I had a meeting with Anchovy to find out more about the program, and I was sold immediately.
Okay, awesome. So that's pretty much a year. That was like, so not when you started, but when you started job searching, it was pretty much a year ago, right?
Yeah.
And so how, at first, how was the job search for you? Fresh off the plane, what was it like?
It was quite challenging because I didn't know which platform to use because I'm used to the platforms that South Africa uses, and I had to submit various sort of certifications, and that made it challenging because I felt that I didn't have all those certifications. I had to get my Australian driver's license. I had to get all those things in place, and yeah, the process itself was also much different than what I'm used to. I think it's more, yeah, it's structured in a different way. It's more formal. Yeah, so I found it quite challenging.
Mm, got it. And if you had to rate it out of 10, how challenging was it at first, would you say?
At first, about a 8 out of 10, I think. Yeah.
An 8? That's a pretty common number we're getting.
Yeah.
Pretty hard, but not impossible.
Yeah.
Okay. And so you started job searching. It was pretty challenging, new process.
Yeah.
Then obviously got a bit more acquainted with how things worked here.
Yeah.
What would you say was the main difference between the job search strategy you used at the beginning versus the one that you used to get quite a lot of interviews? And I think you got multiple offers, right?
Yes, I did.
So you've gone from finding it really tricky to that position. What would you say was the main thing that you changed, or the main things that you changed?
Well, my first approach was searching on multiple platforms like uh, like Seek. I think it was Seek, and LinkedIn. I didn't make use of LinkedIn at the start that much. I made use of Seek more because yeah, most people, it seemed like most companies were using Seek to look for candidates, but after that I realized that LinkedIn was more prominent in Australia, and after doing the graduate course, I started making use of LinkedIn more, and that's when I started getting more of a response and landed my offers. Well, both of them I secured through LinkedIn. So.
And because did you apply to your jobs to get them, or was it through networking?
The job that I think both jobs were through networking, contacting. Well, not networking as such, just finding the right people to contact, and yeah, contacting them on LinkedIn. So not necessarily. I was still networking, but my job offers weren't just strictly through networking yet with people.
So they just to clarify, so they were advertised.
Yeah, they were advertised. So the one was advertised on Seek, and then the one, my current job, was advertised on Seek, and then I contacted the employer on LinkedIn, and yeah, that's where it progressed. And the other one was advertised on the other offer that I got, was that job was advertised on LinkedIn, and I contacted the recruiter on LinkedIn.
Got it. So you didn't, because some of the people we talk with, they create like what we call hidden jobs. So they just network, and then the job comes up out of nowhere, and it's not advertised. But yours was a bit different. It was advertised, but you took the extra initiative to not only put in the good application, but to reach out directly to the decision makers.
Yes, well, for the job that I am currently in, I didn't necessarily strictly apply for the job. I was contacted when I contacted the employer. I was referred to the HR department, and they contacted me to send me their CV and all those sorts of things. So I didn't necessarily apply for the job. I was just send my resume, and then they arrange an interview and all those sorts of things.
That's the best.
Yeah.
Awesome. Yeah, it's a good little trick, isn't it? If you don't want to spend a huge amount of time applying for a job only to get turned down, just network. And then, if you're a good fit, they'll just ask for your stuff anyway.
Yeah, and I agree. So yeah, one can say that it was a bit of networking and a referral. So yeah, suppose one can say it was through networking.
Awesome. How important do you think your resume was?
I think it was important. I think it does carry some weight to being offered a job or not. I think it is important.
Yeah. I'm curious. So how the people watching this, I'm thinking, what do they probably want to know from you? And I'm asking questions on their behalf. So because you didn't have, I guess, you did have business analysis internship experience, right? Like with a company over in South Africa, right?
Yeah.
And you also had, I guess, complementary experience in finance, accounting, that kind of space. How did you position yourself? How did you sell yourself as a valuable candidate for the job that you got and the other offer that you got? Because a lot of people I speak with, they will tell me that's pretty much impossible to do.
Yeah, and that's the way I felt as well. But with the grad jobs program, I was able to sell myself better. So I was able to highlight my transferable or comparable experience and related to the job. So I felt that I wouldn't have done it without the course that the grad jobs course which helped me to highlight those the important can I say how your experience matches with the job.
Got it. So for you, it was more about figuring out what are the key skills that are important to them, the key traits, and then looking for transferable evidence.
Yeah.
What do you think? Why do you think they picked you versus everyone else out there?
I think that I was just a perfect fit for them at the right time because I think they've been looking for somebody for some time, and I just came along at the right time, and I had everything they were looking for. So it was just a perfect fit from both sides actually, because I feel it's a good fit from both sides.
What do you think it was that they were looking for?
I feel like they were looking for somebody who had the relevant expertise or interest and skills to be able to do the job, and who would also be a good fit for the organization.
Got it. And so, okay, interesting. I think maybe I'll move on to another question. I think you answered it pretty well. I'm just seeing if there's anything else people would want to know. Okay, no, that's cool. Yeah. What would you say at first when you were job searching was a mistake you were making that you also see other job seekers make?
That's a good question. I think not adapting your resume to the job advertisement is a common mistake, and I think that's what I was doing a lot in the start. So I feel like you need to, when you find that job advert that you really feel like you would be a good fit, that you need to put in the effort and change your resume according to match the, so that you actually highlight what they match your what you can offer with what they are looking for. And once you've done that, you also need to contact the employer and just make them aware that you are out there, and you feel like you're a good match. And you also have to follow up. That's another thing that I wasn't doing at the start. So yeah, I think that's also important because they're also busy, and yeah, your application might slip through the cracks. They might forget about you. So it's important to follow up.
And if you, so say there's someone else who's in your position, they're coming over to Australia from South Africa or wherever it is, and they don't have local experience, they don't have a local degree. What's the main advice you would give them on how to succeed?
Just join the grad jobs program.
I was going to say, assuming they don't join the program, what are the main like juicy nuggets of advice? Just whatever in mind. I appreciate
well, yeah. Well, if they don't join the grad jobs program, which they should, then I think it's finding that, that the jobs that really resonate with them and which they feel that they would like to work in that position at that company. Because I feel like a lot of times myself, I'm also guilty of that. We would have, as a candidate, you would apply for a position, which at that time it's sort of you are desperate to have any sort of position, but you don't consider that, you don't sort of try to think into the future and see yourself actually working in that position, going into detail and sort of thinking about what does this company do, how would it be like to work every day in that position, and would you enjoy it? Because you need to enjoy your work. It's not it's you spend most of your time at work, so it's important to enjoy what you'll be doing.
Awesome.
Yeah.
So just to summarize that, so being a bit focused about what kind of job you're looking for, picking something that fits your skills, is something that you would like, and being very deliberate about it versus just applying to whatever.
Yeah, because that's the job offers that I received, and the responses that I received from applying for jobs, those were actually the ones which matched more with what I could, what I would enjoy. So if I spent some more time, I could have applied for less jobs instead of just applying for all jobs without doing that research.
Yeah, I totally agree with you. That's such a big mistake a lot of people make, isn't it? They just sit there all day hitting easy applying to all the jobs. They don't even want the jobs.
Yeah.
They just want any job they can get their hands on. It just doesn't make sense, does it?
Yeah.
Any other big juicy tips?
What else is there?
What about? I think what I've come to know about you is that you're a pretty likable guy.
Oh, that's good to know. If you think so.
I think we all can all agree. And I think it's pretty clear as well, when you interview with these companies, they want to make you offers, right? I mean, a lot of you interviewed with wanted to make you an offer. I don't know what the percentage is, but it's quite a lot.
Yeah, I haven't done that many interviews, so I think in total I did about 5, if I'm not mistaken.
And
Well,
how many? Yeah.
let's say physical interviews, well, face-to-face interviews was about I think about 5, and then I also had some virtual or remote interviews, and those were, let's say, also about 5, if I were guessing the number.
Mm.
And then I got about, yeah, I got 2 offers.
Mm.
So
Okay, awesome. So you're definitely able to convert interviews into offers. What would you say is like a really one of your, I guess, your secret tips to to interviewing? What makes you stand out? What contributes to your interview style?
well, I think it's important to mention, I think there's a lot of value in face-to-face interviews because it's difficult to get to know the person. You need sort of a three-dimensional view, or you need to, yeah, I just feel like you need to do a face-to-face interview. Your chances of securing a role are going to be more. So if you have the choice of opting for a face-to-face interview or a remote interview, I would also always say take the face-to-face interview, even if it means you have to travel. Obviously, if it's far, then you don't necessarily have a choice. But if it's within your means to travel, I think take the face-to-face interview because people will be able to get to know you better, and your chances will just be more.
Hmm.
Yeah, and then with regards to the interviews, tips for the interviews, yeah, I think you should just try to be yourself because people, when they get to know you, they'll immediately, well, it'll be from both sides. You'll know whether you would want to work with them, and they'll know whether they want to work with you. And that's, I think, one of the important things besides all the skills and experience and, all those things which you'd be able to offer them.
How do you be yourself when you're nervous?
Yeah, that's difficult. Yeah, the nerves are always a problem, but I think you just have to sort of try to relax and just not think about the outcome too much. Just think about the present and the now, and um, what you are there to do. You are there to get to know them better. It's not the end of the world if you don't get a job offer, and don't be too hard on yourself. We'll make mistakes. Like if you say something wrong, or you don't answer as you prepared, to answer because you're nervous, then it's not the end of the world. Yeah.
And what about do you have any tips for people on how to manage multiple offers when they come in? Because I know that's actually a pretty tricky thing, right?
Yeah, and I think mine was, yeah, I had some deadlines between accepting one offer and um, had to, yeah, I didn't have some offers in writing. I only had verbal offers, so yeah, it makes it very tricky. So I I relied on grad jobs, your advice a lot. Because some situations I really didn't know what to do,
Mm.
and I think that helped me a lot to make the right choices, because it's also important not to burn bridges, because the offer that you decline might be the offer that, or the job that you land in at the end. So you should really manage that process carefully.
Mm. So don't burn bridges.
Yeah, don't burn bridges.
Differentiate between a verbal and a written offer.
Yeah. And don't
Two.
accept,
Yep.
don't reject a written offer based on another verbal offer.
Yeah. Yeah, I've seen people make that mistake a few times. Verbal offers, in my experience, probably like 95% of the time they go through, but there's always that chance, right?
Yeah, so with me, I know I'm saying don't accept written offers based on a verbal offer, but if you, like you mentioned as well, there is that exception to the norm where if you feel confident that the offer will go through and you build that sort of a relationship with the employer, then I think that's the exception where you can do that.
Yeah, it's tricky, isn't it? Okay.
Yeah.
What else? If there's someone who, say, was in a position like you were, and they've been job searching, say, for a while, and they're just really struggling with the process, they're kind of demoralized by it, and say they're thinking of giving up because it's too hard, what would you say to them? Apart from joining,
yeah, yeah.
I appreciate it, but just I want to hear your advice, your recommendation. Yeah.
So the job searching process is hard. Nobody said it would be easy. It is emotionally and physically draining, and it just feels like it'll never end. But it's important to just keep pushing on because you will get that job offer.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Last question. How is the job going?
It's going good. I'm enjoying it a lot, learning a lot, and see myself working in this role for hopefully for a long time, maybe forever. I don't know.
That's a good sign.
Yeah. So
Wow.
I just feel like it couldn't have gotten a more perfect role because it just matches my my situation perfectly, and my skills and my interests, and what I'm able to offer, and the feedback that I've gotten is quite good thus far, not only from the employer but also from other third parties that work with the employer, which is always a good thing. If they send messages to the employer saying that I offer a fresh perspective on the issues and requirements, and yeah, so it's going quite good.
That's awesome. And you've only been there a couple of months.
Yeah.
Fantastic. All right.
Yeah.
I think that's pretty much it. Do you have any final words or pieces of advice or tips you want to give to someone watching this, looking to follow in your footsteps?
Besides joining grad jobs.
Just something they can take and they can run with, some practical recommendation.
Well, I would just say if you want that job, nothing is impossible. You can get that job. Don't feel like you don't deserve it or you're not worthy. You are worthy and you do deserve your dream job. So don't ever not pursue that dream job, because you might regret it in the future. So just put in the hard work and stay positive, and you'll get there.
Awesome. Thank you for your time, Vickers. Really appreciate it. Enjoy your Christmas.
Thank you. You too. Thanks for your time. See ya.